Many of you have expressed the information that signed numbers, positive and negative numbers, are bothering you. We need to sense that this symbol that is separating these two quantities means subtract. The symbol looks similar in front of the 9, in front of the 3. That means negative numbers. So you have to distinguish between negative quantities and the subtract symbol. The definition of subtraction, now that we're working with positive and negative numbers, is as follows. You change the subtraction operation to addition if the number that had followed the subtraction symbol becomes the opposite. So the opposite of -9 is a +9. I'm going to put back the -3. So again, repeating, subtraction is equivalent to adding the opposite of the number that followed the subtraction symbol. Now proceed as an addition. We have unlike signs. Take the sign of the larger, which is positive. Take the smaller number from the larger. That answer is 6. This problem says subtract 15 from -20. So therefore, we put the -20 first, and from it, we're going to subtract 15. So we sense that this is a subtraction problem, and we're going to rewrite it as -20, change subtraction to add if we take the opposite of this number. The number itself was 15, so the opposite is -15. Now we want to add two numbers that are both negative, so we're going to get a bigger negative number. In this case, we're going to get -35. I want you to notice the difference between this problem and the previous problem. The previous problem says subtract something from something else. This one says find the difference. Subtract and difference both mean subtract, but the order in which we do things is different. When we say find the difference, we know we want to have a subtraction, and the first number that is stated goes on the left, and the second number goes on the right. I'm going to use a parentheses. So we're subtracting a negative number from a negative number. That is equivalent to taking -23 and changing subtraction to add if we take the opposite of this number, which it would be +6. Again, we have unlike signs. We're going to take the sign of the larger, which is negative, and then take 6 away from 23, which would be 17. Here we have a problem with 4 integers. We're subtracting the -24, we're adding a -12, and we're subtracting a +8. It's most important that you take change the subtractions to additions if you convert the number that follows. So the -24 becomes +24. The 8, it's understood to be a +8, becomes a -8. Put back the other two integers, -3 and -12. So now it's just one big addition operation. I prefer to add like signs. So how about, and I underline -3 when added to a -12 is going to be -15. When added to -8 is going to be -23. And then we only have one positive. So we're adding unlike signs. Take the sign of the larger, which is positive. Take the smaller number from the larger. So that is a +1. And I don't have to write the plus. I could just write 1. We are asked to simplify this problem. This problem says raise something to the 4th power. The question is, what is raised to the 4th power? Since there is no parentheses, the power only affects the number that is touching. So the 9 gets repeated 4 times. Not the minus sign. The 9 gets repeated 4 times. And if we calculate that product, the answer is negative 6561. Compare that to quantity minus 9 raised to the fourth power. Now, because of the parentheses, the power is not on just a 9, it's on everything that's inside the parentheses. It's on the parentheses. So the parentheses gets repeated 4 times, which therefore is minus 9 times minus 9 times minus 9 times minus 9. And therefore, the answer would be a positive 6561. So when there's a parentheses, you're repeating everything. And when there's no parentheses, you're only repeating the base, which is 9. We're asked to simplify this problem, and therefore we need to use PEMDAS. Parentheses has the top priority, exponents next, multiplication or division only as we go left to right, and likewise with addition subtraction as we go to left to right. Since we have two grouping symbols and we have an innermost one, we must take care of the innermost grouping operations first. So we need to add inside the parentheses. So write each step out completely. Minus 2, bracket, 2 plus 2. The result of minus 6 plus 2 is minus 4. Close bracket, add 12. Don't be in a hurry to add first, even though you see the add, because understood there's a multiplication symbol here, and multiplication has the priority over addition. So it's minus 2, bracket, 2. 2 times negative 4 would be a negative 8. Close bracket, plus 12. We need to do what's inside the bracket first. This is 2 take away 8. And 2 take away 8 is really to add the opposite. And that's really going to be minus 6. Add 12. Do the multiplication first. So that's going to be plus 12. Add it to 12. Gives me 24. Notice I've done each step slowly, one step at a time. That usually gives me the correct answer. When you try to rush the problem, you will tend to make mistakes.